Is it even worth buying a new bow these days? Tell you right now, my opinion is 100% yes, but we're going to, I suppose, prove it, do a deep dive to some 20 years ago. This is the pawn shop bow that we did the bow build, pawn shop bow build on. It is a Q2, which was right around 2002, I believe, is when Matthews came out with this bow. We shot it then, but we're gonna shoot it again today in comparison with a flagship bow. This is the Matthews Phase 4 2023 flagship. Top of the line bow. This whole setup said and done is probably right around $2,500. So everything's top of the line. UV slider, we got the bridge lock stabilizers, and then obviously the bow, the QAD. So this compared to, I think we bought this for 300, two, under 250. Was it? Okay, so like low $200, and I put on the budget sight that we built from Lancaster Archery Supply, put that on there. We got a whisker biscuit, and this stabilizer came with it. We did put a little bit better peep sight in it, a Hamskea peep sight, but besides that, this is pretty bare bones and over 20 years old. But we're gonna shoot it in comparison. We're gonna first go over some tech. So I guess technology-wise on this bad boy, I mean, we do have harmonic dampeners. They're old school harmonic dampeners, and they definitely don't do as good a job dampening the sound overall. The overall and design and build of this bow, the riser is very short and the limbs are way more vertical. This is just the style of bows, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Everything was very vertical. And when you shoot this bow, it jumps forward. Like, it's very aggressive. And even some of the years prior to this I've shot, it is violent shooting them. Even compared to this. This one's not terrible, but it is still very violent, jumps forward, even though I believe it's only at 60 pounds. So the overall design, the riser is much shorter compared to this. I mean, just right there, it's way less riser, so it's not as stable, it's not as quiet, it's not as dead in the hand. Definitely doesn't aim as good. Besides that, we got very simple cable guard that comes out. I believe it's not perfectly in line with the cams, perfectly centered like Phase 4 is. So timing is a little bit tricky. And we have solo cam. So we got a top solo cam, and then this is the actual driving force of the cam. So a lot of different stuff going on there. Different feel, like everything's completely different than a binary cam system like they are now. The grip, a wooden grip, it's actually not a terrible grip. It's just wide. I think you're more acceptable to some like more hand torque and stuff like that. Let's see, man, there's almost a lack of technology. That's why it's like there's just not a whole lot going on. But at the time, it was like, yeah, this was a sick bow. And it shoots fine. We do have like all the sight bolts, rest bolt, quiver, like all that jazz is still the same. I believe, I don't even know how draw length works on this. I think you got to swap out the entire cam. Because this says, I don't even know. I mean, there's no mod system on it. So you got to swap out the entire new cam if you want to change your draw length, which sucks compared to just a mod. You got to pop the axles out and everything. As far as tunability, there is no top hat system. So you can't shift the cams one way or another. We do have a yoke system in the top. So this double yoke, you can kind of canter that cam to do a similar thing, but it's only on one side, so it's not as effective. That's probably it, honestly. I mean, just a lack of technology. It wasn't there yet. It wasn't there in the time, and it just shows. So in this bow, Phase 4, it's way faster, way more efficient, way more dead in the hand. You can change any sort of poundage through the mod system. You can change any sort of draw length through the mod system. We have bridge lock technology, so it keeps the center of balance more. We have grips that you can replace, the B-roll grip, the stock grip. We have RPD, which is a dampening system in the limbs. We have split limb. We have the cam system is overall just way more efficient. We have top hat system that can shift it left and right. We have the cable guard is in the center of the bow, so it helps tunability and just overall efficiency of the bow. We have silent connect system, so this cool little system in there for pulling your bow up in a tree stand or a sling. We have a better harmonic dampener in here, way more efficient, way more sensitive. We got a limb or a string stop. I guess there's not even a string stop on this. I suppose you could. It looks like you could if you wanted to, but it's not standard on here. Better quiver system. It's still, you know, they both have a quiver system, a better quiver system. So quite a big jump onto here. But what we're going to do now is we're actually going to look at some numbers. So I have a bow scale. Bow scale here. We're just going to see the overall weight of the bow, I suppose. This is going to be skewed. So we got 5 pounds on this, so pretty light. There's nothing on here, but this is loaded down. I already know it's going to be quite a bit heavier. Loaded down, I got extra weight and everything. This is 7.1. So 2 pounds heavier, but that's through the bars and through the sight and the scope and the rest and everything. So now we're going to do poundage. 66. I think it's a 70-pound bow. So we're almost to 70. Draw cycle's way better on top of that. This is 74.5, so pretty much 75. So quite a bit difference there. Through the phase 4, we are going to shoot a top of the line arrow. It's a RIP TKO by Victory, 430 some grains. And out of Pawn Shop Q2, we're going to shoot a more budget friendly arrow. This is a V-Force Gamer by Victory. Just a cheaper arrow. I believe it's a 6mm diameter. And I'm not quite sure the weight on this, but I'm going to check because next what we're going to do is shoot it through the chronograph. 418, so a little lighter. But just a cheaper arrow because we're shooting a cheaper bow. I just kind of wanted to pair them nicely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shoot these through the chronograph. We'll just get a speed out of it just to show the overall comparison. We got 10 pounds less, but we do have a lighter arrow. So I know it's for sure going to be quite a bit slower, but we'll see. 247, and that is how I grabbed the bow. It nearly popped all the way out of my hand because it's so violent going forward. So 247, I mean, that's not, you know, it's slow, but some guys that feel the need to shoot a 700 grain arrow are going to get worse than that out of a 70-pound bow or a 80-pound bow. Oh, what am I doing? Not that arrow. Our new arrow. So we got 247. .293. So we got like 50 additional feet per second out of this bow with a heavier arrow and with only 10 more pounds. So way more efficient. I wish we had a comparison exactly poundage to poundage, but this can't go up anymore. And I'm not going to bring mine down because I am hunting very soon with it, so I don't want to mess with it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go outside and shoot some long distances and just kind of show and kind of tell or say how I feel shooting it and stuff, and kind of run it through and see what type of groups we get. But what is fun and cool about this is we are going to do some hunting with this year, which I'm pretty excited about. Especially shooting a bow nearly as old as I am. Not quite, but there in that era. So we're gonna go outside, shoot a little bit, see what we got. So what we're gonna do now is I have target down there. We got an orange dot on it. I'm just gonna aim all at the same orange dot between the two bows, and we'll just kind of compare groups. It is like a tornado outside today. I have no idea why, but I think it factors in well because we're in the element, and you know, increase of technology in different bows kind of help deal with like windy stuff like this or just other stuff in general. So we are going to shoot my phase 4 first, see how we do. Pretty low, right? Which honestly could be the wind, but I'm not going to move my sight at all. And if I'm not 100% sighted in, I'll at least know I got a good group. Okay, slightly on the right side also. Wind definitely got me on that one, but we're right there still. Yeah, right there. I think we're getting a wicked left to right wind down there. So I'm kind of spanning left to right a little bit, but not terrible. That one looked pretty solid. Nice. Okay, setting down the very expensive bow, picking up the once very expensive bow, but now not because it's old, the Q2. So we got lighter arrows, we have thicker arrows, we have a slower bow, going to be more affected by the wind. Our bow is really light right now, so we're going to get blown around just because I don't have stabilizers on it. So kind of interested how we're going to do here. Oh, right when I shot, the wind just like gusted me over. So first initial thing is I'm blown around in the wind a lot more just because of how light this thing is. Also, I got reminded how jumpy it is. Every time I shoot, it nearly jumps out of my hand. And if I didn't have this little wrist sling thing, it would honestly probably fall on the ground a couple times. Looks pretty good. Can definitely see the arrows kind of doing some weird stuff down there though. Left again. Just very sensitive by the wind. Very different. Sight picture looks good. I mean, through the peep sight, aiming with the pins, that looks good. The draw cycle, it's like crunchy. I hear it go like ding, 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 ding. I don't know if it's like the string or the axle or what, but it's just like a little grindy. You definitely feel it all along the draw cycle. Like that is where it's literally slamming into this and I'm like losing grip of it and gotta catch it. It's incredible how much that jumps forward. If we take this hunting this year, imagine aiming right down and the bow just drops out. It's like that bad. Okay, that one actually looked good, felt good. Yeah, I mean, we got some in there and some not. So let's go check them out. 55 yards. I forget if I said how far it was. 55 yards. Phase 4, Q2. Two beauty of bows in their time. Very, very different shooting bows going back and forth. Okay, so starting first, we'll do the phase 4. Like I was saying, I mean, these two are kind of our drifters. And then our other three are right in there, but we still got a good solid group. About the size of that orange dot, just a little low right. Could be the wind, could be me a little bit. Our Q2, we do have 3 in the orange dot, so I think when they broke good and the wind didn't mess with us, we were good. But these 2 suckers just got us on the wind big time. You know, that bow's so light and aiming, it's very fluttery and just went off and that was it. So I bet if we did this on a still day, I bet it would be somewhat comparable out to maybe 40 yards. And this bow, I can't get it to shoot past 60 yards probably. It's just impossible. So we lose a lot of distance, we lose a lot of speed, and it's just not very fun to shoot. It freaking jumps out of my hand big time. But it was fun little experiment here, but we are doing some hunting with the Pawn Shop Q2 this fall, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Need to get it dialed in anyway, so we kind of got it dialed in a little bit, at least at 55, but definitely will not be shooting that far. I'm talking 20, 30 yards with this bow. It's maybe 40 yards if conditions are good whitetail hunting. So we'll see, but fun video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you guys in the next one.